Okay, hi everybody. It's 12:01, and so I want to go ahead and get started because the training does last about 30 minutes this time, and I want to make sure we have time for Q&A at the end. Megan, can you hear us? Just pop it in the chat if you can't. Okay, awesome, great, that's good. So I just have a couple of announcements before we get started, then we'll do the training. I'll have a couple more announcements at the end, and we'll have time for Q&A. I'm Lindsay Brizzle. I'm actually going to teach the training today, and I normally do these trainings. I will be on maternity leave very soon, and so Zoe is going to cover my job. She also works at the Grow Nebraska Foundation, and she's so graciously offered to cover all of my duties. So just be gentle with her in the future on trainings, and you'll generally see her face for the next couple months, but I'll pop in when I can. So this month, our featured sponsor is the Small Business Administration. Without sponsors like them, we couldn't offer these free trainings, and so we just want to thank them for everything they do for us and for others. We love being able to help people learn, and without them, we couldn't. And then our featured member this month is Susan Tonages. She's been a Grow Nebraska member since 2019. It is tax season, you guys, so check her out for all your accounting needs. She's wonderful. She can explain things in layman's terms. That's what I really love about her. I never feel like I'm lost or in over my head when she's talking to me. Okay, so I am the presenter this week, and we are going to go ahead and start the training. During the training, at any point, if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. I will address them at the end. I don't want you to forget your questions, and then there will be time at the end if you don't put your question in the chat during that I will answer those. Hi everyone, I'm Lindsay Brazil, and I'm here today to talk to you about creating a social media plan that you can stick to. I think it's really important that everybody knows how to effectively use their social media to the best of their abilities. And so today I'm just going to go over how I effectively use my social media and how I make time to do the social media, especially for like Grow Nebraska. And so let's just hop into it and get started. So here are the 3 keys to great social media. The 3 things that I look at for my social media are quality, quantity, and consistency. Now let's break down each of those items further, starting with quality. Quality is the most important of these 3 aspects. If you're going to do something, then you need to do it well. Give 100% effort. Don't half do things because your audience will notice. Always select high quality photos. Grainy or blurry photos don't look good and lose your audience's attention quickly. In fact, can often turn your audience away from you. Share top-notch information. This means leaving out the fluff and staying relevant in your industry. If you are a candy producer, you probably don't want to be sharing cat videos. Just keep it relevant to your business and your industry, and that helps keep the traffic that is coming to your site and looking at your social media informed about you. Share things that pertain to your industry. Keep up with trends and have a basic knowledge of your competition. Trends are really wonderful things that you can use. A while ago, one of my favorite trends, this is probably pretty long ago, was feeling cute might delete later. Models were doing this. They would post a photo of themselves and put feeling cute might delete later. Like that was the actual caption. And so when I worked at a previous company, I had some of our lawn care guys pose like models, laying on fountains, laying in the grass, and put feeling cute might delete later. It went really well, just staying on that trend. I kept it relevant with my industry, but I used the trend to help me create the content. Think ahead. Do not just throw stuff up on your social media willy-nilly. You need to have a plan and stick to it. When you just start throwing things out there, your audience will notice because your social media becomes this hodgepodge that doesn't make sense. And you don't want that. You want it to look like you've planned it. That doesn't mean you can't share things randomly when you find them, but just make sure that it's really relevant to you. Quantity is the second most important thing. I suggest posting at least every other day if possible. Now, some of you are saying, wow, Lindsay, that is not possible, and then listing the millions of reasons in your head that you can't get this done. If every other day seems like too much, try to start posting 2 to 3 times per week. This is every 2 to 3 days. Always think of things through your customer's eyes. Imagine that your customer is your friend. You want them to be your best friend, right? Because then they'll purchase from you more often, or they feel more inclined to purchase from you rather than your competition. How often do you interact with your best friend? I'll tell you, I interact with my best friend daily. When I think about close friends, I generally interact with them every other day or every 2 to 3 days. And then I have acquaintances who I interact with every now and then. Don't let your customers just become your acquaintances. On the opposite side of the spectrum, there is such a thing as posting too much. I generally say post only 1 to 2 times per day per social media. You don't want to over bombard your audience with content. I can tell you that this is true, that you can easily over bombard your audience with content. There are many social media accounts for some of my favorite boutiques that I have hidden their posts for 30 days or unfollowed them because they were posting 4 and 5 times a day. And I was like, okay, I've seen all that I need to see from you. I don't want you to take over my Instagram feed. I still want to see my friends. Yes, I love your outfits and your marketing and I like to know about your sales, but I don't want to see your post every other post on my timeline. So be careful about oversharing. Consistency is the third thing. Consistency is so important. Don't just fall off the face of the earth every few months. Your customers will inadvertently see this as a direct reflection of your business, product, or service. This means being on social media regularly and posting regularly. Do not just disappear. If you post a whole bunch in December and you need a small break, take a week break. But don't disappear for 2 months after the holidays. If you fall off the wagon, that's okay. Get right back on. Give your audience an explanation of where you went. Hey, we've been in Vegas at a conference. Sorry we haven't been around posting. Those are certain things that you can post out there. Now, if you just totally forgot, just try to get back on that train. Try to get back to posting. But I'm hoping that I can help you create an overall plan that this will never be an issue for you. But be authentic and be consistent. There are a lot of platforms for you to post on, and there are more popping up each day. We have Facebook, Google, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, Snapchat, Reels, Pinterest, blogs, etc. I could probably go on all day. You have to decide what platform works best for you. This relates back to quality first. Be extremely honest with yourself about what you can and can't manage. Remember, not only are there tons of platforms out there, but each platform has its own rules for content, its own algorithms, its own posting guidelines, etc. And you need to figure all of those out to best utilize that platform. So what can you effectively manage? Also look at, what does your audience look like? Where are your customers going for their social media? Look at the age demographics and ease of use in each of these. What can you use this platform for? And can you use the same content across multiple platforms? This is a lot to take in. Are you feeling overwhelmed? You may be asking yourself, how do I decide or know what platform is best? Well, the first question that you must answer is, What is the amount of time you are willing to dedicate to this? And know that you are not alone. If your answer is like many people's to my previous question, it's none. You have no time or very, very little time to dedicate to social media. Or at least that's how it feels. I'm here today to tell you that it's not true. Take a deep breath, relax. I am going to show you the recipe for creating a social media plan that you can stick to. You can always pick one social media platform to start with and add to the others as you get more comfortable, consistent, and confident. You don't have to start with all those platforms right now. So here are the secrets. The first secret is setting aside time that is specifically meant for social media planning. For me, this is in the form of 2:45 to 3:15 every Monday. 30 minutes. That's it. Have you seen all my social medias? I manage all of them and do all of the planning of that content in just 30 minutes a week. Remember all the platforms from the previous slide? I'm on every single one of those. In 30 minutes, I plan all my content for that. Next, no distractions during this time. I don't take phone calls. I don't listen to music. My team knows not to interrupt me unless they have an idea that pertains to our social media. This is specifically for social media planning. Go to a separate room. Go into a closet if you have to. Just make sure that you are focused only on your social media at this time. Don't miss this time for any reason. Set alarms. I make this time a habit. I have reminders on my cell phone and my computer because if I don't prioritize this time, that's when it all starts to fall off the wagon. And you need to hold yourself accountable. I'm just as guilty of this. Like I said, I have an alarm on my phone, I have an alarm on my computer, and I have another person who comes and we talk about the social media together because she's very involved in that. So we hold each other accountable and we make sure that we prioritize this time. In general, make a good year plan. What I'm saying is sit down right now and make a Google Earth view of your social media plan. So it doesn't need to have all the fine details. You just need to see the continents, really. Just print out a calendar that has January, February, March, April, May, blah, 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 all through the year. The holidays come at the same time every year, and we know that. So let's plan for those in advance. We know Valentine's Day is February 14th. Excuse me. We know that St. Patrick's Day is March 17th every year. We know when Christmas falls. We know when Thanksgiving comes, Easter, etc. Just make a plan for those holidays. You can easily pre-create those posts and know that they're coming. You can also think about, do I want to run a sale for this holiday? Do I need to start marketing in advance for this? You can also put your big events, like if you have a year clearance blowout, you know that there. Put it on the calendar. That way you don't forget. Then look at this calendar during your set aside time. You know what months your products sell in and when it struggles. So you can make a plan for those. You may need to market harder in the months where you struggle, and you don't have to dedicate quite as much in the months where it sells up by itself. Not to say that this is a time to slack off. You also know when your family vacations or possibly when employees will be out. In these months or during this time, get your plan worked ahead. If you know that you want to have certain sales or you want to run certain promos, great, slap it on there. We aren't doing the fine details. We're just giving ourselves a roadmap, basically something to kind of guide us and help us follow. Vines grow so much better when they have structure to cling to. That's something I like to think of. Next, set goals. What are the goals of your social media? If you don't know your goals, what are you working towards? How will you know if you're doing a great job? How will you know when you get there? How will you evaluate at the end of the year if you did a good job? Set 2 to 3 goals for your social media. And also, I just want to tell you my super secret here. These goals aren't set in stone, so you can change them. I think that's one of the most terrifying things about setting goals. It's, what if this isn't my goal in 3 months? Or what if I beat this goal in 3 months? It's just all the unknowns. Just know that you can change these. Okay, so let me talk to you about my goals. My goals for grow include improving, man, I can't speak today, I'm sorry. Improving our training numbers. That means getting more people signed up and on our trainings and educating them. Bringing awareness to our products and members. This means posting about renewals, new members, and all of our new products. We currently have about 413 members. That means I have to post at least twice per day to hit all of my members. Audience growth is my final goal. I want to grow my followers, my lists, my comments, and my interactions. See how broad these goals are? It's not specifically a number of followers. It's not specifically a number of renewal posts. The only real specific I have is that I want to post about each of our members once. So 413 different posts, which that number will probably grow because our team is great at getting new members. So I have even more work cut out for me. If I find that I am easily attaining these goals throughout the year, I'm just going to change them. Let's talk about scheduling. This is one of the best ways to get your social media out there without having to put in tons of work or think about it daily. I'll show you in the next slide how to do this. And finally, using Canva. Canva is a content creation platform, and I'll show you all about it. It's my favorite. So let's talk about scheduling. How do I do this? How do I manage all of these things? I want to tell you that I start by using scheduling software. Things like my physical calendar, Hootsuite, and Business Suite. Let's talk about first my calendar. This is an exact photo of my calendar from December. It looks probably like a giant mess to you, but to me, this is organized chaos. The photo now in the top left is a picture of my calendar from November. A little bit less organized, but still great. And now on the top right is my February calendar. I'm going on maternity leave soon, so not all of that stuff is done, but that's what it looks like when I sit down and plan out a lot of my items. That is my roadmap on there. I use the color coordination to help me decide when things are done or not done. As you can see, in December, there's all sorts of X's, different colors such as orange and green and red. And I always use the same colorings because that's how I like to work. What I'm really suggesting with the physical calendar is that you have it written down. This goes with you everywhere, and there's no confusing technology piece to it. I may be of the younger generation and very inclined to use technology, but I'm always a fan of the old school. Find what works best for you. If a physical calendar doesn't work best, but putting it in your Outlook or your Google or something else, try it there. But my suggestion is to start with the physical calendar. The next thing I suggest using is Hootsuite. Hootsuite is a free service you can use. You can sign up for an account at hootsuite.com, and this is kind of what it looks like. In Hootsuite, there is a calendar, and you can see this is an actual screenshot of our Hootsuite from January 23rd through the 29th. Excuse me. You can see some of our posts that were scheduled and were pushed to social media. But as you get on and schedule it, you can see how your posts are going to flow. You can see from the left side that it goes from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. It goes clear down. You could scroll and see all of your times of day. So you can see when your posts are going out and what that's going to look like. Hootsuite is one of the greatest tools for scheduling because you can connect to so many social medias and schedule your posts all in one place. Hootsuite will hold your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. I love it because I'm able to schedule a lot of my posts through here, especially if I'm going to push the same content to all 4 of those platforms. This is what your Hootsuite home screen looks like. It shows you your scheduled posts. So remember I was saying that you can schedule to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter, especially all of the same content? You can see across there that social media training for today was scheduled across all those platforms and will be pushed to them at relatively the same time. It's wonderful because I only had to schedule one post realistically, and then Hootsuite helped me to change what I needed to change to be able to get it to post on each of these platforms. Super simple. Hootsuite also recommends posting times based on information pulled from your social media platforms. So it takes a lot of the guesswork out of posting on social media. This is what it looks like when you're going to schedule a new post in Hootsuite. See, I can select my Instagram, my Facebook, my LinkedIn. I'm also the administrator of the Grow Nebraska Women's Business Center Facebook, so I can post it there if we want, and the Twitter. You can add other social media accounts if you want to, but this is all I have in my Hootsuite. Then you just upload your media and put in your wording and go from there. It also has schedule for later or post now. So if you want to post simultaneously to all your platforms, this is a good way to do that too. Now let's look at Facebook Business Suite. Facebook Business Suite is one of my favorite tools for posting when I am going to tag my products directly, when I want to link it back directly to my site. Now we use a Shopify site, so it direct links back to that, and we can put our products there. This is a screenshot of my cell phone screen. It's showing you there's the Hootsuite app and the Business Suite app. Hootsuite also can be used on the desktop. I only use Facebook Business Suite on my phone. It's relatively easy to schedule in there, and I can do it on the go when I have a few minutes here and there. If I'm riding in the car on the weekends, I just find small time when I can spend time doing this. Or, like I said, I do it during that 30-minute session. This is what it looks like when you open up Facebook Business Suite. You create the posts from there. It also pulls your inbox for your Instagram and your Facebook. I love this because if people are messaging me, all my stuff is right in one place. But it's so simple to schedule in here, and you can schedule out a week, a month, 2 months. It is just so easy. So take advantage of scheduling tools like this, and you can look into other ones, but I just wanted to share with you the 3 that I use: my calendar, my Hootsuite, and my Business Suite. Now let's talk about Canva. Canva is by far one of my favorite tools I have ever discovered. If you're like me and you aren't fond of designing, or you just don't feel you're very good at it, you go through creative slumps, Canva is your new best friend. Canva has many great features. First of all, Canva has tons of great preset sizes for things. They have Facebook posts, Instagram posts, email headers, flyers, postcards, etc. You name it. I love that I don't have to go in and remember what size Facebook posts are, like 900 pixels by 900 pixels. Like, that is a thing of the past. You don't have to know how to make that quality photo because Canva is going to size those things for you. So much easier. Just a little insider's tip about myself. I used to have all these written down. I had it written down exactly how many pixels by how many pixels for Instagram, Facebook, and all the different types of things. Headers, profile pictures, posts. It was just crazy. So this is what it looks like when you go into Canva. It's really great. I love that you can just, and they're just named, like Facebook posts. So easy to go in there and design. And honestly, I used to struggle with creating email headers and footers. Canva had it right in there, and it was so simple for me to go in there, make it, download it, upload it to my other software, and go. The next best thing about Canva is you can choose what you want to pay. You choose the plan that fits your price. And the free version of this software is absolutely amazing. Honestly, at my previous 2 jobs, I only had the free version. We didn't pay for the pro version. And I made it work. It's a little bit more work if you don't pay for that, but honestly, you can get 99.99% of what you need from it on the free version. I do use the paid version because I like to have the resizing. Resizing means I can create a Facebook post and resize it to a flyer without having to actually make it myself. Canva just has this cool resize button. You click that, tell it what you want it resized to, and it will adjust all of your elements to the new size. It's amazing for saving time on designing. They also have great presets. So I would suggest if you're going to invest any money in your marketing, invest in Canva Pro. You will not regret it. Plus, it saves all of your designs. You can also upload like your brand colors and your logo and everything. So you have all of your elements right there as presets, and you don't have to think about it every time. Finally, you get all sorts of file formats. So not only does it have like these social media like setups, Instagram story sizes, post sizes, flyers, posters, newsletters, etc. It also is going to allow you to download your files in different ways. Have you ever sent something to a printer or tried to send it to another company and they're like, no, I need a PNG or a JPEG or a whatever? And you're like, I don't even know what that means. Well, Canva does know what it means. So you can just select how you want it. And I love that it has a little description there. So PNG is a high quality image. A JPEG is a small sized image. PDF standard prints, PDF high quality prints, sharp vector graphics, MP4 videos, GIFs, you name it, they can do it. This is kind of what the design template in Canva looks like. So there are preset templates you can use, or you can just design your own. You can change the texts, photos. You can upload your own photos. If you get Canva Pro, they have an extremely large catalog of photos that you can use that are like stock photos. There is video. You can change the backgrounds. It's just absolutely wonderful. And it's so much easier than like InDesign or any of those other softwares that are really meant for content designers. This is what you want to use if you just have very basic skills at designing, but you want to look very professional. Canva is honestly so easy, my 6-year-old can do it. So if my 6-year-old can do it, I'm sure we can help you do it. All right. Let's talk about a few keys to remember when you're creating your social media plan. Be honest with yourself and start with what you know you can achieve. Please don't take this statement lightly. You have to be brutally honest. What can I do? I know that I have ambitions that I'll have an amazing TikTok for Grow Nebraska and a Snapchat channel and all of these other things. But if I'm being realistic, I can't. I cannot keep up with all of those things. So I have to make a decision. Where am I going to be at and what am I going to do? What am I going to do well? And this is one of the hardest parts. But if you start with this and be honest with yourself, you will succeed. Stick to your plan. Set aside that time every day, every month, every week, even if it's only 15 to 30 minutes. If you set that time aside, create your plan, create your content, and schedule it, then it's done. You can brain dump it. You don't even have to think about it. Honestly, after my social media planning time, I basically brain dump it. I don't sit there and think about it. I don't worry about it. And I can tell my team, hey, these member renewal posts are going out. Hey, we have a new product going out. And then they're excited and they're looking at that social media. And I can focus on my other work because that social media is done. If your plan isn't working, adjust. These are not set in stone. You don't have to continue doing something if it's not working. Just adjust. My social media works because I make it work. That 30 minutes on Monday that I set aside is super useful and it works for me. That's all the time I need. And I was able to dwindle that over time. I'm not going to lie. It probably took me an hour the first couple months that I was doing it to get it all done. But now I am efficient at it because it's routine for me. The content isn't routine, but the process of getting the content done is routine. It's almost like muscle memory. When you work out, you relatively know, your body knows what you're going to do. Training for a marathon, you run those miles over and over and over again. And then pretty soon your body isn't so tired by it anymore and you can run those miles faster. It's the same with your social media plan. But if something isn't working, just adjust, make a small change. Remember that we're just creating structure for you to flourish on. Keep trying even if you fail, and be authentic. It's going to happen. You are going to fail. Just know that failure leads to even more success. Fall down 7 times, get up 8. If you forget to post for 1 week, oh well, get right back on it. It's like a diet. You just got to keep trying until you get it right. And being authentic is really important because we as the audience, we see you. We know we're not dumb. You can't hide from us. So if you're just authentic about what's going on, we're going to see that a lot better. And that's also one of the trends for 2022, being more authentic on your social media. I hope that today's presentation helped you to see how you can create a social media plan that you can actually stick to. If you need help planning out the time, if you need help learning about Canva or Facebook or just deciding, just some guidance, don't hesitate to reach out to me here at Grow Nebraska. I can absolutely help you find the best plan that works for you, but this should give you the simple structure to create a social media plan that you can actually stick to. Thanks for sharing with me, guys. Okay, everyone. So I noticed there was some questions during the presentation, and if you have more, just go ahead and keep putting those over there in the chat. I'm gonna scroll up here and see if I can't answer some of these. So Margie said she had to get off, but I'm gonna answer her question out loud for everybody else anyways. She said she has 3 different businesses, 2 sites, and 1 personal. Some of them don't necessarily cross over. She has watercolor and botanical print artist, a miller, and her own art gallery. She said it gets confusing as to where I post. The gallery has all 3 studios, the millery, art pieces, and watercolor studio. It's hard to keep up and post on the right place. That's where I would definitely suggest using Hootsuite. Hootsuite allows you to connect like multiple Facebook pages, multiple LinkedIn pages, etc. And then you select which one you want. Like, I don't know if she saw the slide, but I am the administrator of the Grow Nebraska Women's Business Facebook page, as well as Grow Nebraska's and several others. And so then I only select the Facebook page I want that to post to. So you could add multiple Instagram accounts, any accounts that you have that Hootsuite offers, and then you just select what handle you want to post that to. And so that can help you divide the content and make sure that if this post needs to go to all those Facebook pages, it goes to all those Facebook pages. Or if it only needs to go to the one Facebook page, it can do that. And so it's a lot easier to help, spread those out in the scheduler. This is another part where I would say to use that physical calendar. Choose a color, say you use blue for the watercolor studio. For the art pieces or the art studio, use red. Use black for another, because that color coordination helps your memory. That's part of the brain dumping that I talk about. It's less thinking about it because your brain automatically associates that color if you use it repetitively with that item. And this is just an effective technique I learned in college, actually, for note taking. In every class, I would use a different color and chew a different type of gum for flavor and the color. So honestly, that's what I would do for those. The next question that I see here, yes, we will send out the recording after this is over to everybody, so you will have this and you can watch it as many times as you need. I'll also send you my personal contact information so you can reach out to me with more questions or schedule social media trainings if you are a Grow Nebraska member. This is a complimentary service with your membership. So Hootsuite does not post to Google. Even if it did, I wouldn't suggest using Hootsuite to post to Google because Google loves Google. So you want to post directly on Google. And your Google page is not a place you have to post daily, and you can set expiration dates. And there's lots of things that are really great with Google that you can utilize its software for posting. So Jessica, if you want further training on that, reach out to me. We do have a Google specialist in-house at Grow Nebraska, and so we can show you that stuff. Hootsuite does support Facebook accounts, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Pinterest. So you can set up all those channels for it to post to. You can also set up handles on those, and you can watch your competition's social media, basically, which is what I love because I can watch other nonprofit foundations and what are they posting, because you can really get a lot of your ideas for about what you're going to post from somebody else's stuff. Let them do the hard work. If you just see their post, you can basically copy it and adjust it to what you need. Courtney, it looks like Amy reached out to you. I will email you separately later some resources. So Emily has a question down here. Says, I think my largest struggle for Nebraska Agri-Ability is posting between agriculture and disability and finding the fine line. Nebraska Agri-Ability works with farmers and ranchers with disabilities to find assistive technology to overcome the limitations and continue farming/ranching. How do I find the correct balance? So Emily, I'm just going to talk about balance in general, and then I'll reach out to you separately about how to apply this for your business. So a big balance that I have to find at Grow Nebraska is we are a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, but we also sell products. So I have to find the balance between educating people on what we do and different topics like marketing and technology and selling products, because that selling of products is how we keep our funding to keep this foundation going, right? So I can't have all my social media posts be sell, and I can't have all my social media posts be education only. And so I look at the different platforms. So I use LinkedIn to push all my educational stuff. And Twitter is often business owners and things like that. It's not so much for the trendy sales anymore. So I don't put any of my selling products on Twitter either. I keep those strictly for educational purposes. My Facebook, I do a healthy mix of educational stuff as well as product sales because I know a lot of young people buy from there. I know a lot of any age demographic buys from there. Instagram is a very visual place, so I put all my sales on there, but I also put my trainings on there, and I try to use good graphics to make that informative. I also try to create posts that wrap the two together. So for me, that looks like, how do I educate these business owners to sell their products? And that's how I loop those together. Emily, like I said, I'll reach out to you directly and we can work through how you find your fine line. But for me, it's just going back and forth. What are people interacting with more? What's going well? What's not going well? And this is where I say, set your goals, but you can change. You can pivot. It doesn't have to stay the same. It's not set in stone. And that's the beauty of this. And I think that's where a lot of people become overwhelmed just because they feel like it has to be set in stone, like it's black or white, it's this or that. And it's not, it's really not. My plan changes all the time. Our CEO, Janelle, she's always like, hey, can we do this? And I'm like, yeah, let's figure it out. Zoe knows. Yeah. Zoe knows. Janelle she is all for adding every social media possible. And I have to just be realistic with her. I'm like, Janelle, I can't produce quality content for that right now. I'm not an expert. I don't know how. I need to learn. James, I will email you with some resources. There are people that you can hire to do this for you. One of the struggles that I want to forewarn everybody about with hiring people to do this for you is, do those people know your business, your products, your mission, your philosophy? Because that's part of being authentic. Grow Nebraska, we truly care about our members. And so if we just brought in some outside agency, it would probably just turn into sales of our products. And it wouldn't be about the educational part. And so we have to be very careful of that. And so I caution you to be careful of it yourself. The idea of today's training was that I could help you figure out how to do this for yourself. My suggestion is just start on Facebook. That's where the largest audiences are. Start on Facebook. Take that 15 minutes a week. Honestly, 15 minutes a week. What's that? An hour a month? 1 hour out of your entire working month is dedicated to social media. And I know if you just sit down and do it, you can create 8 posts for the month, right? You could do that in an hour. And that's it. 8 posts. That's enough. You're there. You're in front of the customer. You're doing it. You don't have to go overboard and spend 20 hours on this. Like I said, we don't. I have a full-time job, and so does Zoe. But we still make it work. We just dedicate that time. Angie asks, how do you know what best social media platforms are for your target audience? That's a wonderful question. So you can go and you can Google the target audiences on Google, like just Google Facebook target audiences or the demographics of who's on those social medias to look at what their reporting overall is on there. But you can also, if you have a business account set up, you can go into your insights and look at what your audience looks like. So first you need to know for your business, what's your target audience? What's your bread and butter? How are you making money in sales? And then you pick your social media platform from there. So let's say we're targeting Zoe's age, right? Zoe, what's your favorite social media?
Probably Instagram.
Instagram? Okay, awesome. Instagram. And I would definitely say for Zoe's age, TikTok is big.
Yeah, TikTok.
So I'm
gonna
TikTok. I'm gonna make those 2 things my priorities. I need to learn all about TikTok and how to post on there the best and how to be on Instagram the best, because Zoe's age demographic is between probably 18 to 22, 24 years old. That demographic is really into TikTok and Instagram right now. They are visual people. They want to see. They need things that are like click, click, click right in your face. Short, sweet, to the point. They have short attention spans, and they are so bombarded with things that they're used to that. And so you need to you got to be pounding in that front door. Older demographics like myself, I'm not really that much older than Zoe, but I like Facebook. I like things a little bit slower. Sometimes I like to read. I don't like tons of videos popping up in my face, but I do like photos. So I look at the 25 to 35-year-old age group as being on Facebook and Instagram mostly, because that's what was also hot when we were younger. You can hit almost every age demographic on Facebook, though. I would truly suggest, if you're going to start with a social media or you're going to try to be good at just one and you're going to work on that now, I would do Facebook and Google. Google My Business pages are a 100% must. If your business does not have a Google My Business page or Google Business Map, that's where you need to start, because that's really minimal effort. And if you don't have that, reach out to us at Grow Nebraska. We are experts in that. We can help you get that all set up and started. We can get you a membership with us and help you with those basic things. We are a great resource for that. So that's where I would start with all of those things. I'm going to go ahead and jump to the announcements because we're almost out of time here. If you have any other questions, just pop them in the chat or feel free to reach out and email me. I'm going to send out an email at the end of this with my contact information, but here it is on the screen here. So my email is just lindsay@grownebraska.org, and then that's my cell phone number right there. You can text me, call me. We can talk about things. I can help you with so many things. This was just, the basic overview of how to create that basic plan for yourself, and really was to show you that it is obtainable. You can do it. I know you can. And it just takes a little bit of work, and it's intimidating at first, but I'm sure you can do it. I would love it if you guys could join us for some upcoming trainings next month. The trainings that we have on the 3rd and 4th Thursday. February 17th, we have Facebook strategies to grow your small business. So that's a great follow-up to this webinar. My friend Emily is going to teach that one. She's going to teach you how to utilize Facebook to the best of your abilities for your small business. She has a small boutique, and she has grown her boutique from being only online to now she has a physical location. And this is her full-time job, and she has employees. Like, it's amazing what Facebook can do for you, and she's going to show you how to do that. And then on the 24th, Zoe is going to be the presenter. She's going to teach you all about shipping, which I think is wonderful. Shipping your products is really important, and so she's going to teach you how to do that properly and the most cost-effective way possible. We do have our Grow with Google series. Like I said, Google loves Google, and we are big into educating people on how to use the Google to make themselves more efficient. And so on February 2nd, we do offer this in English and in Spanish. We're going to offer this month, February's training is Get Your Local Business on Google Search and Maps. The 12 to 1 class is in English, and then the Spanish class is from 6 to 7 p.m. Now, if you are trying to learn Spanish as a second language, or just to have a little bit more conversational Spanish, I 1,000,000% suggest signing up for that Spanish series and just get on there and listen to it. You can learn. They teach a little bit in English, a little bit in Spanish. You can learn them Spanish and pick up on some great things there. But, stay in tune with our Grow with Google series. It's the first Wednesday of every month from noon to 1 in English and 6 to 7 in Spanish. And we'll teach different topics about Google on there. And then lastly, I encourage you to check out our Grow Nebraska Women's Business Center. First, I want to say this is not only for women and minorities. This is for everyone, especially if you live in Omaha or the surrounding counties of Omaha. This is a great resource. They will help you to, no matter how infancy staged your business is, if it's just an idea in your head, if you already have a full-on business, they can help you to incubate that business and get you onto the next steps. And your first consultation is completely free, and a lot of their services are free here. So if you want to know more about them, their website's on there, as well as their phone number. And they do offer some great monthly trainings as well on different business aspect things. It's not so much the marketing side of things. So you would definitely want to check that out. I do see over in the chat that a couple people have asked about the Google series. So the Google series is on our upcoming training page. So if you go to Grow Nebraska, to our website, and then just click on upcoming trainings, the Google series will always be on there. You have to sign up for each one individually. You can't sign up for the series, but if you want to, you can sign up for those individually as they go. Those ones we only send out afterwards. They're not on our YouTube channel like this one will be. So you want to make sure that even if you can't attend, like if you're at that trade show, sign up and we will send you the recording of that Google training series, and then you can watch it later. That's the wonderful thing about our trainings. We always send out a recording afterwards because we want you to be able to learn at your pace. And then if you have any other questions, you can email any of us at Grow Nebraska. All of our contact information is on the Grow Nebraska website, so you can head there, or you can just email me, lindsay@grownebraska.org, and I can direct you to whoever is going to help best answer your question. I really appreciate everybody getting on today. Zoe, I appreciate you being here covering my maternity leave. I will be sending out this recording and following up with any questions that anybody else has. Thanks for joining me today, guys.